It's the time to get down.
You know, go to work, come back, that type of thing.
As we say, Mario over here in Los Angeles says, that's the other folks. That's the other folks.
I'm telling you.
I would say another term, but I don't want to get in trouble. We know there's the east side, there's the west side. It's up the hill, down the hill. I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to say it.
Mm-mm.
See, she's being nice. I like that.
I'm gonna fix my hair.
Hey, oh, let me get a shot. Hold up. There we go.
You know what's so interesting, you guys? It shows you a number of the videos that we had planned to show are now missing from the internet.
From which ones? From the Egypt?
The political videos. So now, yeah, about Egypt. So I think that's amazing. That's what I've been looking here.
Well, speaking of videos.
For a number of videos. So obviously there's some attempt to control those. Speaking of videos,
you know, I was looking up my name on the local zone and everything else, and I'm getting a lot of hits, by the way, just so you know.
Uh-oh.
Did you get a date yet? Okay.
Wait a minute, Mario.
The part she came with a man last week. That's right.
You know, they're all rolling in already. You know, like I said, put them to work. You know, make them work.
Anonymous man last time.
Yeah, I know. I thought he was an actor. I was sitting up here going
what
like,
he was.
He is an actor.
Yeah, he is an actor.
He acted really good.
He sure did. You know, he played his role. But I said, you know, that's next time. Let everybody know that we're going to come and get somebody to interview us at their facility, and we're going to bring our women. Right, Mario?
That's right.
That's right.
Bringing our women.
We're bringing our women.
Well, if they're coming to interview you, then I'm going to come.
Oh, what's the purpose? What's the purpose? You want to be a pimptress? You want to gangster the interview, don't you?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Just up and coming, you know, superstar. The Canadians are taking over. Justin Bieber, Drake, and Turquoise. There you go.
Mario, sounds like you have an element. There's the dark side.
They are taking over.
And there's the empire. Which side are you, Mario? The dark side or the empire?
They're taking over. You just got to change some of the food items.
Well, hey, you know what? We welcome it. Whatever you do, show us. What's that term? Torontonians?
Torontonians.
Show us what type of women in L.A. can compete with Torontonians.
Well, it's just the variety and the difference. It's not a Toronto thing or a LA thing. It's just, I think it starts with your upbringing.
I hear you.
You kind of go from there. So
okay.
You know, there's some slight differences. I get made fun of with my accent and such, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'm taking it with stride.
You know what? We do endorse that you are of a different flavor. And that you do.
I thought I was the chocolate flavor.
Oh, Mario, did you assign her the chocolate flavor? What's the chin thing?
That's a new one.
I don't know what the chin thing is. Flavor. I don't get the chin thing.
Chocolate flavor.
Or the chocolate flavor. But you know what, Mario? I have to abdicate. Somebody says that abduction? No. I'm abdicating that. The new title of chocolate, whatever you say at the beginning of the show, has now been turned over to Turquoise. She is now the real chocolate flavor.
The chocolate flavor. How do you like that? I don't know.
Melts in your mouth or in your hands. LA talk. All right, you guys.
Ready?
Well, we're finding out a bunch of our stuff has been taken down or removed.
Wow.
Interesting. I guess there's an active campaign out there to deal with something. So, but let me show you this piece now. Everybody's been wondering about who is this man who released all the secret classified documents, U.S. documents, to WikiLeaks.
Right.
Maybe not the person that you expected. So I got this piece here that I want you to see. We're going to watch it on YouTube. It's all about the man accused of the WikiLeaks.
He's accused of leaking some of the U.S. military's dirtiest secrets.
Come on, fire.
And hundreds of thousands of classified State Department documents. 23-year-old Army private and intelligence analyst Bradley Manning was turned in by Adrian Lamo, a well-known computer hacker to whom he'd turned for validation. Wired magazine first published online chats between the two in which Manning describes reaching out to WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Hypothetical question, Manning reportedly emailed. What if you had free reign over classified networks and you saw incredible things, terrible things? What would you do? It was here in the small town of Crescent, Oklahoma, that Manning first developed his interest in computers and a habit of questioning authority, which friends say he learned from his father. He's remembered as an extremely bright boy who played saxophone in the school band.
he had an opinion on just about everything and expressed it, even to the maybe dismay of maybe classmates, but never to the point of just trying to strong arm.
This is the house Manning grew up in. He lived here in Crescent until he was about 12 and his parents divorced. Then he moved to the country of Wales, where his mother was from, but eventually came back to the United States to stay with his father. Friends say the two had a very uneasy relationship, made all the more difficult by the fact he was gay.
Maybe he was trying to seek a little bit of approval from his dad.
This former neighbor says Manning stopped playing with her children and began spending more time on his computer as his home life deteriorated.
He's very smart. I can see him being in intelligence and all that, but I can also see him doing something to get some fame, you know, he's trying to get attention.
Still, she has a hard time believing the boy she once knew could have orchestrated what many in this conservative town see as an attack on the government.
I can't help but feel he's just a scapegoat.
Yeah.
He's out there hung out to dry. He definitely was just used. And
for many, Manning is a hero. For others, a traitor to his country. If convicted of disclosing classified information, he may never again see the town where he'll always be known as a native son.
Well, that's
Kristen
the question.
Salimi, Al Jazeera,
What would you
Crescent,
do?
Oklahoma.
Thank you, Al Jazeera. What would you do if you found out terrible things were going on?
You know, okay. Okay. He's being used as an example, right? I mean, it's obvious that his stance on something, it goes deeper, and we just really don't know how in depth his activity was, right?
Well, his activity was just that he released the documents.
Okay. And
Yeah, there's a reason why he released it. It was
Because
just-
if you suddenly stumbled on documents that said the U.S. was murdering children in another country,
right.
do you hide that or do you release that? And what is loyalty? And who are you being loyal to? See, to me, if you're loyal to God, it's straightforward.
Right. Right.
So that's why I don't believe in nationalism. I believe that's what they use to coax you into doing things that are dirty.
Right.
Loyalty to mankind over all countries.
Right.
But see, that's not what you're taught. You're taught to be patriotic.
Right.
You know, where I've questioned the value of that.
Yeah.
In today's, maybe if you weren't so patriotic and a little bit more in tune to maybe with your spirituality,
Right.
you might do better.
Yeah, but there's people who are supposedly in tune to their spirituality, and there are still wars and etc. for their so-called spirituality.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, the point being is obviously there's issues here with what people's loyalties are too. It's like the same old thing. It's the us versus them. Who's the us and who's the them?
And Mario, and I understand it philosophically. I think the hard part is, you know, before you rush out there, understand who you're going up against and the resources they have, and doing the right thing, but being smart about doing it, and don't be emotional about it. So I'm not siding on what if he did the right thing or not. That's not my position. The position is that right now his family is suffering. He's suffering, and they're making him an example. So if you get 23 hours a day isolated in solitary confinement, mentally it's going to tear you down more than it is physically. The physical part is there, but the hard part is that when you make those decisions, because you have a philosophical belief. I said, now remember, there's a lot of history with people who took a stance. Bottom line is, I think the parents said, can we just have our son back? You know, I don't hear them saying, you know, he's doing a good cause. We stand behind him, and yes, he's going to take this to the end, and rah, rah, rah. They want their son back. So I agree that, you
7 months of solitary confinement.
Yeah. That's, dude, think of just 2 days.
So, you know, so you don't even get afforded the privileges of a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
Remember, part of the reason why the U.S. said they didn't want to do some of these things is that they didn't want to provide the rights of a prisoner of war.
Right.
And that to which I responded, either there's a right or there's not.
Right.
Either there's a way that you treat prisoners or there's not. And they try and so this us, them, all this crap, even the military people says, so when they get your people then.
Yeah.
So you don't think about it till you're the soldiers that's captured.
Yeah.
While you're claiming don't behead the person.
Right.
Okay, you're killing people and then going, this is what we're doing. Then we say, well, they're savages.
Yeah.
We bomb them, they cut off their heads.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sometimes it starts to get a little blurry at some point in time.
Yeah, and it's always the accuracy of information, because I just don't think historically you get all the information firsthand and direct, and by the time it trickles down, there's always something behind it that may be lacking or missing. It's not the place I'm in to turn around and say, well, what's better, what's worse, because isn't the practice of being covert and militaristic not to divulge all the information of how we acquired information?
Well, that's right. And if you add to that the fact that governments exist primarily to provide protection for the businesses,
yeah,
under the guise, in other words, you look what governments do. That's why you don't get the response from your representative.
Right.
The government is where the business people interact with the people who are running things.
Right.
So that businesses can move forward.
Right.
That ends up being tied into political campaigns which affect other countries.
Right.
As we sought to stabilize South America for business interests here in the United States.
Yeah.
Which meant dictatorships in places like El Salvador.
Right.
And then attempts that play things like Nicaragua, Chile. See, all these things, you have a history.
Yeah, it's similar. Like this could have been something. This could have happened with the Shah of Iran back in the day. It's just, where's the flashpoint? What was the flashpoint with this? Why Egypt all of a sudden its people took a stand?
Well, that's something we'll get into next week. I actually had videos there, but we're running behind.
Okay.
Next week I'll get into a little more of the history of the uprising that started in Tunisia.
Okay.
So I'll go and get at least from you don't get much of this on the U.S. press. But we're going to go look at the foreign press, their press,
okay,
and see what they say about why the revolution started.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
All right. Now we're going to close up. That we got to get to our other shit. It's the last part. We love this. First of all, giant baby in Russia.
I'm not gonna talk about that baby.
This is to help Turquoise think.
Help me think? I thought you were going to help me have
about
my
your
twins.
vulva.
Was born in the Russian town of Kavaras. The newborn and his 33-year-old mother were feeling fine. The usual weight of healthy newborn children is 3 to 3.5 kilos. An infant up to 5 kilos is considered big. More than 5 is a giant. According to statistics, these big babies are a rare event. They are born 1 in 1.5 thousand. The baby boy is the second child in the family, and the first one was Regular, who is now a 14-year-old girl.
Wonderful, wonderful big baby. Wonderful big baby. Now, I told you we had one other piece, and I'm pulling them up because we lost some of our links. But you know today with all this navigation, iPhone. Of all these wonderful navigation devices, everybody has them. Well, they're built into your phones in so many places, okay? It's built into your phone. Well, someone had the idea of trying to see which one would navigate you the best.
Competition,
okay?
right?
Yeah, to see which one.
Competition.
So they actually hooked up both in their car to see how they had it, guide them. Okay? So this is called the Garmin versus iPhone competition. I know you can't wait.
Yeah, I've been
so exciting.
So here we're just gonna focus on GPS satellite accuracy, and I have 3 devices that we'll use today. We got an iPhone 3GS. We're gonna use the geocaching.com application to help us along. Then we also have a Garmin Legend C, which is a unit that's a few years old, and we also have a Garmin Forerunner 405. So we're in the park here, and we're going to use the iPhone to look up a geocache that we haven't found yet.